the cameras flashed. The crowd, it froze.
Right.
We're at the 2026 Golden Globes just a few days ago, and the air is thick with this, this specific kind of tension.
Yeah, the kind that's saved for Hollywood royalty who are, returning from exile.
Exactly. And you see them stepping out of the limo, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
They look great, glamorous, poised.
Totally. But there's this rumor trailing behind them, like a ghost that's been haunting them for, 5 years now?
And it's not about what you'd expect. It's not infidelity or tax evasion or a box office bomb.
Yeah.
It's something much more primal. It's the question that everyone in that crowd and, everyone scrolling online is secretly asking.
Gourmet.
Smell.
Mm-hmm.
Can a Hollywood power couple worth hundreds of millions of dollars really be smelly? Or was this whole thing just the internet's most blown out of proportion game of telephone in history? The cameras flashed, the crowd froze, and just like that, Hollywood had to confront its strangest obsession. Welcome to StarScope Report. So glad to be here. We are your guides to the stories shaping Hollywood, the music industry shakeups, and the viral scandals that just will not die.
And today's deep dive is investigating a headline that, it sounds like a total joke.
It really does.
But it actually sparked what you could call a cultural civil war.
Yeah.
We're looking at the $100 M couple who refuses to bathe.
It sounds absurd on the surface, for sure. But what we're really unpacking today is a fascinating case study in reputation management.
Yeah.
We're going to trace the origin of Showergate, how it split Hollywood into two camps. You had Team Shower and Team Stink, and the massive PR pivot happening literally right now, today, January 19, 2026.
It's such a wild ride and honestly a confusing one, because if you look at the timeline, this shouldn't have been a career-defining moment. So let's rewind.
We have to.
We have to go back to the source of the stink. Take us back to July 2021.
Okay, July 2021. The inciting incident. It wasn't, a paparazzi photo of them looking disheveled or some leaked housekeeper diary.
Right.
It was a podcast, specifically Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert.
I remember listening to this when it dropped. And at the time, it just felt like another episode of celebrities trying to be relatable. But looking back, was it actually that big of a deal in the moment?
That's the thing.
Or did the headlines just twist it immediately? Because I listened and it felt like a joke between friends until Twitter got a hold of it.
That is the crucial context. It started as this semi-scientific debate about skin oils and the microbiome. Dax Shepard, the host, he was arguing that using soap every day strips the body of its natural barriers.
Right. He was taking this very biohacker stand.
Exactly. And then Mila Kunis just, she drops the bomb.
Oh, the quote. I have it right here, and I still can't believe she said it out loud into a microphone. She described her routine as, quote,
the famous pits and tits.
and holes and soles.
Which is incredibly specific.
It's efficient. She said she doesn't wash her body with soap every day. And then Ashton jumped in, and, instead of saving the PR moment, he just doubled down.
He really did.
He said, I wash my armpits and my crotch daily, and nothing else ever. And then he mentioned that after a workout, he just, throw some water on his face to get the salts out.
Okay, but let's pause there, because this is where the cultural disconnect happens. Mila actually explained where this comes from for her.
Right.
She grew up in Chernivtsi, Ukraine, in the Soviet era. She said she didn't have hot water growing up, so it wasn't some, crunchy LA lifestyle choice at first.
It was a necessity.
It was a necessity of her childhood. She literally couldn't shower much.
Which makes total sense for her background.
Yeah.
But Ashton, he's a guy from Iowa who became a model. The idea that he does a heavy workout, and we know he works out hard, and then just splashes water on his face, that feels biologically brave.
It is certainly a choice, but then they pivoted to how they raise their kids, Wyatt and Dimitri.
And this is where the parents of the internet really mobilized against them.
This is it, the visible dirt rule.
Right.
Ashton said, if you can see the dirt on them, clean them. Otherwise, there's no point.
And Mila admitted she wasn't the parent who bathed her newborns, ever.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the whole relatability attempt completely backfired. Because if you're a normal parent, kids are, they're sticky.
They're sticky. They're gross.
They're gross. If you have nannies in a mansion, maybe you just don't see the dirt. I don't know.
Well, let's play devil's advocate for a second. Scientifically, there is the hygiene hypothesis.
Okay.
It's the idea that in our modern, super sanitized world, we are actually too clean.
Right. I've heard of this.
And that limited exposure to bacteria early in life can lead to the immune system overreacting later, causing things like allergies or asthma. So from a strictly biological standpoint, they weren't entirely wrong.
Sure. Biologically, they might have a point. But socially, it was disaster.
A total disaster.
You have this incredibly wealthy couple living in this likely pristine mansion, basically telling the world, yeah, we wait until we can see the grime. It just felt elitist in this weird, inverted way.
How so?
Like, we're so rich, we don't need to conform to your soap standards.
That is a great point. It's the luxury of choosing to be dirty. But what's fascinating is how quickly it just spiraled. It went from a discussion about microbiomes to Ashton and Mila are gross.
And the internet branded them as itchy.
It's giving itchy.
Yeah, it was the phrase that took over TikTok.
It was. And this brings us to what I kind of like to call the great Hollywood hygiene civil war.
Yes.
Because this didn't just stay with the Kutchers. It forced every celebrity in Hollywood to pick a side. And this is where you can see celebrity branding really at work.
It really did become a war. You had Team Natural versus Team Shower. But looking at the rosters, it wasn't random at all.
No.
The people who sided with them seemed to share this specific, indie vibe.
Exactly. Look at Team Natural. Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell, they obviously doubled down. They started the whole conversation.
Of course.
They said they are fans of waiting for the stink, but that fits their brand perfectly. They're the messy, honest, authentic couple.
And then you had Jake Gyllenhaal. He did that interview with Vanity Fair where he said he finds bathing less necessary at times.
Right, and he relies on the body's self-cleaning mechanism.
Which, again, it fits his brand. He's the serious artistic actor. He's not a pop star. He can afford to be a little musky because it reads as method or unbothered.
Totally, but then look at who joined Team Shower. It was the people whose careers depend on mass appeal and, aspirational perfection.
The Backlash Squad. I mean, The Rock Dwayne Johnson, he basically issued a manifesto.
Oh, yeah, he wanted absolutely no association with the unwashed.
None. He detailed his entire routine. A cold shower in the morning to wake up.
A warm shower after the workout.
And a hot shower after work. He said, and I quote, "I am the opposite of a not washing themselves celeb."
You have to think about that brand strategy. The Rock sells hard work. He sells sweat equity. If the public thinks he smells bad, his entire brand of I work harder than you it collapses. He needs to smell like success.
That is so true. If you buy a ticket to a Rock movie, you want to imagine he smells like sandalwood and victory, not natural oils.
Precisely. Then you had Jason Momoa, famously Aquaman, who just said, I'm in the water. Don't worry about it.
A perfect response.
And Cardi B.
Cardi B really captured the voice of the people, didn't she?
She did. She tweeted, "What's up with people saying they don't shower? It's giving itchy." And that really just sealed the deal.
It became a class marker.
Exactly.
If you're rich and successful, why wouldn't you want to smell like expensive soap?
Yeah.
It was the biopolitics of celebrity. Hygiene became a marker of morality.
It polarized Hollywood into relatable and crunchy versus polished and perfect.
But here's the thing. Means usually die. This one didn't. For Kutcher and Kunis, this stink stuck for 5 whole years. Why couldn't they shake it?
Well, they tried. Remember that video in their bathroom in August 2021?
Oh, yeah.
Ashton is shouting jokingly, "You're putting water on the children. Are you trying to melt them?"
Sarcasm is such a dangerous tool on the internet. It felt like they were mocking the people who thought they were gross, which just made people think they were gross and arrogant.
You're right. Sarcasm requires the audience to be on your side, and they weren't.
No.
But we have to address the elephant in the room. The reason the stink narrative lasted 5 years wasn't just about soap. It's about what happened in the years between, say, 2022 and 2025.
The exile years. We were recording this on January 19th, 2026, and frankly, before this week, Ashton and Mila had been sort of outcasts from the Hollywood elite for a while.
It is the context we just can't ignore. While the shower memes were circulating, the couple got involved in the Danny Masterson trial.
Yep.
They wrote character letters in support of their former co-star who is convicted of really serious crimes.
And the backlash to that was severe, and, rightfully so.
It was massive. And here is where the smelly rumor became a weapon. It's hard to constantly litigate complex legal and moral failings in a TikTok comment.
Yeah.
But it is very easy to just comment, "You stink." The hygiene rumor became a proxy for the public's moral disgust. They were dirty in a reputation sense, so the public kept insisting they were dirty in a physical sense.
That is a dark realization. The stink became a metaphor for reputation rot. They were embarrassed outcasts, as some sources put it. They needed a reset, a massive one.
And that brings us to the present. The pivot they are executing right now, this week, is a masterclass in using art to rewrite reality.
It started with that Golden Globes appearance a few days ago, their first in 4 years. But the real pivot is happening with Ashton's new role.
It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
It is. He has a new show premiering in 2 days, January 21st on FX, called The Beauty.
The irony is delicious.
Tell us about the role, because it feels like a direct response to all the rumors.
He plays a character called the Corporation, a tech billionaire who is obsessed with aesthetic perfection. This character is sterile, sharp, manicured.
So the guy known for pits and tits cleaning is now playing the face of ultimate sterile beauty.
It is what we might call method marketing. He isn't just acting the part. He is using the preparation for the role to scrub his real-life image clean.
Let's unpack the physical transformation. Because he didn't just show up to set. We're talking about a total overhaul of his biology.
According to reports, he's up at 5 a.m. every morning with his trainer, Robbie Egan. He cut out alcohol completely. He's doing dry January. He had to get, and I am quoting here, Speedo-ready for shirtless scenes.
Speedo-ready. That implies a level of grooming that definitely involves more than just washing the pits and crotch.
For sure.
You can't be Team Natural in a Speedo on 4K camera.
Exactly. It implies total body maintenance, hair removal, skin treatments, muscle definition. He is physically demonstrating to the world, look at me, I am clean, I am sculpted, I am disciplined.
And this leads to the breaking news from today.
Right, the People magazine exclusive.
He is finally, definitively putting the rumor to bed.
And he sounds frustrated, right? He called the whole saga
The craziest thing of all time.
Yeah, and he gave that very specific quote.
Oh, the quote he wants etched on his tombstone, apparently. He said, I shower, I go to the gym, I shower.
Simple, direct. But notice the repetition. I shower, I go to the gym, I shower. That is a man trying to deprogram 5 years of internet memes.
He even brought a witness. His co-star Anthony Ramos went on record saying, I can confirm my boy showers.
You know you have lost the narrative when you need a character witness for your body odor.
It's unbelievable.
For honor, I call Anthony to the stand to testify about my scent.
But think about what this means. He is using this press tour, which is supposed to be about a TV show, to correct a 5-year-old misunderstanding about his hygiene.
Yeah.
It shows how damaging that narrative actually was.
It really overshadowed his actual work. But there is one more layer to this. We were talking during prep about his health history, and I think this is the piece of the puzzle that makes this whole thing less funny and a lot more human.
I agree. We have to remember that in 2019 and again in 2022, Ashton battled vasculitis.
That's a serious autoimmune disease.
Incredibly serious. It took his vision, his hearing, and his ability to walk for a time. He was incapacitated.
Think about the psychology of that. When you lose control of your basic bodily functions, when you can't walk, can't see, your relationship with body maintenance changes entirely.
That's a good point.
The unwashed narrative painted him as lazy or eccentric, but in reality, during some of that time, he was dealing with profound physical vulnerability.
That is such a good point. We're over here making memes about soap, and this guy was literally learning how to walk again. Maybe visible dirt wasn't a priority when you were fighting to keep your vision.
Exactly. And now, in 2026, he's playing a character obsessed with perfection. It feels like he's reclaiming that control as a redemption arc on a biological level.
Wow.
He's going from a body that failed him with the vasculitis to a body that was mocked for being dirty to a body that is now Speedo-ready and playing a billionaire god figure.
He had to become the corporation to defeat the meme. He had to become sterile to stop the stink allegations.
It's the only way. A press release wouldn't have worked. A tweet wouldn't have worked. He had to physically embody cleanliness to the point where it was undeniable.
So what does this all mean for us, for you listening? Because we've gone from a podcast joke to a global debate to a prestige TV drama.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, I think it's a lesson in what I call the digital olfactory.
Digital effects.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the digital age, a scent or a rumor of a scent can linger far longer than reality. A 2-minute clip about preserving natural oils turned into a 5-year reputation crisis. It shows that today, your domestic habits, how you wash, how you parent, can overshadow decades of professional achievement.
It's terrifying, really. You can be a tech investor, a philanthropist, a movie star, but if Twitter thinks you smell, that's who you are. The meme is stronger than the resume.
Precisely. And this story proves that the only way to escape a digital label is an extreme physical transformation. You can't argue with the internet. You have to show them something so new they forget the old joke.
But wait till you hear what came next, or rather, what might come next. Because if this show hits, does the narrative flip? Do we start seeing Ashton Kutcher shower routines in Men's Health.
I guarantee you, within 6 months, we will see articles about the microbiome-safe shower routine inspired by him. Hollywood loves a comeback, even if it's just a comeback to soap.
Before we let you go, here is something to chew on. We live in an era of constant surveillance. We know what our celebrities eat, who they date, and apparently how often they scrub their legs.
We've traded privacy for intimacy, or at least the illusion of it.
Exactly. So it makes you wonder, in this world of oversharing, is mystery the only true hygiene left in Hollywood? Maybe the cleanest thing you can be is just unknown.
That is a provocative thought. Maybe silence is the ultimate soap. If you don't tell us about your armpits, we just assume they smell like roses.
If you are loving these Hollywood twists and deep dives, make sure you are subscribed. We have got even crazier stories ahead. Rumor has it, next week we're looking into a pop star who allegedly faked their own wedding for a music video.
And you definitely don't want to miss that one.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.